Bruce Mansell, DOC number 493832, first class offender, aggravated incest, sentenced on 5/24/2005, 18 years DOC, parole date 6/14/2010, not eligible for good time, full term date 6/16/2022. I interviewed Mr. Mansell 8/7/2020, because Captain Keith Taylor was there, who didn't have any input. He said he didn't have any input. His full term date is 6/16/2022. That's when he'll be eligible to get out. Aggravated incest of his children. He's a first class offender, low Lorna score. He only had a 9th grade education. This is as far as he was able to go. He has completed reentry, and he has completed only phase 1 of sex offender treatment class. He said he never had an alcohol or drug problem. Again, when I pressed him about the crime and about what was going on, he just kept saying he was dumb, made a dumb decision, was dumb. He says he's on disability. He says he's got a leg length problem. That's the second time, Mr. Jones. So he's got a leg length problem, and he's on 50% disability, is what he said. He does maintenance around the facility. He's had no disciplinary write-up. He has obviously extreme victim and law enforcement opposition. He didn't have a residence. He couldn't give me any information about a residence plan, where he would go, what he would do. Didn't really have anything there. He just wants to get out and do right. He wants to work. Obviously, the barriers would be a sex offender guidelines and registration that he'd have to follow, and of course, victim opposition. Again, he needs to continue to stay where he is, as far as I'm concerned. So he has law enforcement opposition, victim opposition. So let's go ahead and hear from Miss Wendy. Would you like to make a statement?
I just wanted to kind of see if he could just stay the rest of his time. I don't feel he needs to be out. From the years I've known him, I just don't see him rehabbed at all. And I just want to make sure he stays where he needs.
Okay, well, thank you for being here and being a part of the process. I know it's difficult. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
If I may ask, Ms. Mills, how long have you known him?
I had known him for 9 years when the incident happened. And there was just lots, and we were both stupid. I didn't need to be with him, and I knew it, but it was one of them tough love situations. And when this occurred, I did everything I could to get away from the situation and changed our lives for the good. So I just don't want to see him get out, because I don't see that he'd even try to change.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And now, in 2022 is his full term date. I mean, that is the date that he would be getting out if he serves our time, just so you know. Okay. Ms. Wise, you have any comments or any?
No, sir.
Okay, is panel prepared to vote?
Yep.
And I'll vote first. I'll vote to deny his parole due to law enforcement opposition, victim opposition. He needs to get all phases of sex offender treatment. Mr. Jones?
I vote also to deny for the same reasons you gave, Mr. Kelson.
Ms. Wise?
My vote is to deny as well, for the reasons I already stated. And to the family, I thank y'all for participating today. I hope y'all are well.
Thank you. 3 votes to deny. His parole's been denied today. Thank you. And we'll adjourn. This is the last hearing, 3:04 today. Thank you.
All right. See y'all in the morning.
See you.
What about opioids? Have you ever used opioids?
I never used opioids, ma'am.
But you learned some things in those programs that you think will help you with your drug addiction?
Yes, and a lot of participants in our class use heroin, so we also get a insight, and we had to do journals on, heroin, cocaine, weed, drinking, alcohol, and all this stuff. And she teaches us that it's an ongoing problem and about the triggers of the situation.
Well, tell me, if you were successful today, how do you plan to stay sober this time, given everything you've learned, the STAR program and the other programs? What would you do different this time?
What I do different this time, I eliminate myself from the crowd, because the crowd that you in, if you're not using and they using, they could be a great influence on you and cause you to use and put yourself in certain situations. Plus, I have a lot of things that's going on in my life with my mama being the only child, my family, my grandchildren. I don't only just hurt myself by using drugs, I hurt them by me being in this situation and not able to do the things I need to do for them.
Sometimes, though, you can't avoid certain people, particularly if they're your family member. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So avoiding certain people, just one thing.
Right.
You can't always do that. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do you think you need to do to maintain your sobriety?
Do self-evaluation. Another study we had is criminal addictive thinking. Thinking about doing, do positive things in your life. You know what I'm saying? Is seek help.
Talk about the seeking help. What kind of help do you think you should have?
How,
Go ahead.
continue to go to AA classes, AANA, anything, just AA and NA classes, any kind of sober group that they have, for you to go into when you feel yourself feeling lonely, because sometimes loneliness will have you to where you want to go back to using drugs. A situation with your relatives or your girlfriend or something like that, depressing moments or stuff like that, and they also teach us about, do the things that you used to do, like going to parks and playing ball, or some activities there for yourself to keep you from having the prestige to going back to using drugs.
Do you think you should wait till you start having those feelings? Start going to A&NA?
No, I think you should keep in contact and keep going to classes, and because cravings and triggers never get away. And you need to keep yourself on the right path in order for you to not go back to the stage where you was, or going back to the person that you was when we're using drugs.
Well, what about where you would live and where you would work?
Where I would live in with my mama in New Orleans East at 7706 Reindeer, and I go back to Cargill's offshore job that I had.
How do you know you still have that job, or have you get that back?
I spoke with the guy, and he told me all I had to do is renew my my TWIC card. I had my TWIC card before I had started the auction business, before I started got my auction license.
Beckham, what can you tell us?
Yes, ma'am. Terrell, he is a trustee. He works in the kitchen on Compound 3. He's a Pride member, so he's no write-up since he's been here. And then of course he mentioned the STAR program. I think you notice one of those issues that he has, that I tell him all the time, is slow down when we talk, and he just wants to go really fast. But he does a good job here for us. Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's all I know. Thank you. Mrs. Wells, hear from you, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think she did not connect to audio, so she's just observing. So, Mr. Wells, what would you like to say to us?
Well, I like to say, I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to be come in front y'all with the board and hear my case out. And if I'll be granted parole, that I'll make sure I'll be a productive citizen and won't do anything to cause me, myself, and the board members any kind of embarrassment from granting me parole. And he had given me an opportunity to get a chance to be with my grandchildren and my mother and my daughters.
All right. I think we're prepared for that. Ms. Jackson. All right, Mr. Wells, you were denied a little over a year ago, and since then you've made a lot of progress. You completed the STAR program. You're also in some recovery, some relapse prevention, and I'm really glad to see that. I really am. I think you made a lot of progress. You know, I'm glad to hear you don't want to embarrass me. I lay in bed at night worrying about a parolee embarrassing me. I don't want to be embarrassed,
And I
Mr.
don't
Wells.
want to embarrass myself or my family neither, Miss Jackson.
Okay. So my vote today, Mr. Wells, is to give you an opportunity to grant your parole, your early release, on the condition that you obtain a sponsor, attend at least 2 AA or NA meetings per week, and perform 4 hours a month community service, working with at-risk youth. That's just my vote, sir.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jackson.
Mr. Freeman?
I concur with Mr. Jackson, with the same condition.
Mr. Wells, I also agree. My vote is the same, to grant your parole, that you obtain a sponsor, also that you obtain a sponsor, attend 2 AA meetings a month, and perform 4 hours of community service work each month. Speaking of working with at-risk youth, so congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Renata.
All right. Congratulations.
What did they say? Low risk score? Are you kidding me? They're just a bunch of jokes. The whole system, they're a bunch of clowns. Really, they're fancy PhDs in their algorithms. This guy is committing incest, and then they say, well, he's a low risk to reoffend because he would only do something stupid just once. These clowns. It's just a joke. The whole thing is just a big joke, and. Again, this was the time that they were doing the hearings in 2020. Some of the hearings they didn't have them show up to the parole hearing, and it's the document Richard Shears shows that he moved to Texas, so at least Louisiana does not need to worry about him. But yeah, he's in Texas, and he served. So the judgment was 18 years of incarceration, which. Or was it a 20-year sentence and he got out in good time of 18? It's not clear, but that is on the high end of the spectrum for Louisiana, which means it was bad. Either that or he ran into one of the few DAs and judges in Louisiana that didn't think it was cute. Because the legislation for aggravated incest in Louisiana, I believe, is maximum 20 years. Yep, I just wanted to double check, and that's exactly what it is. If you were to commit the crime of aggravated incest, you shall be fined not to exceed $50,000 or imprisoned with or without hard labor for a term not less than 5 years, no more than 20 years. Because God forbid someone who does that to a child should spend 21 years in prison. Now, on the flip side, if you were to get possession with intent to distribute with an aggregate weight of 28 grams or more, right? We're not 28 pounds, 28 grams, you shall be imprisoned for no less than 1 year and no more than 20. So when the judge wants to throw the book at you for aggravated incest or possessing 28 grams, you can both be roomies together serving your maximum of 20 years. Make it make sense. You can't make it make sense. So this is there are people that are supposedly and smart, that are supposedly our leaders, that are run for office, that we respect, that we say, wow, they're pillars of the community, that are writing legislation that says this. And anyone, when they step back and say, wait a minute, what? You're telling me that you actually sat down there and you said, let me think about the punishment for a father that would do this to their daughter or son or whatever. They shouldn't be punished more than 20 years. Okay, let's write that down. Hey, yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, great law. Okay, sign it into office. Now let's see if they have, some marijuana. Yeah, 20 years. Lock him up. Anyone with I feel like even just a tiny drop of common sense would look at that and say, are you nuts? But this is part of why we do this, so we can expose the craziness that we live in. Yeah. So with that, we'll move to the next hearing.